What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're gonna be talking about Brother Voodoo, or sorry, Dr. Voodoo. We're gonna have this issue the entire time. Dr. Voodoo, we've got him, been doing some testing with him, and I have to say right now, I really like this guy. His special, it's a 3-turn special. It does ability block and defense down the primary target, defense down to the adjacent targets, and does mind control stuff. It's really good stuff. I love it. And I've been doing some testing in Blitz with them. We're in the middle of a war right now, so I can't do a lot of war testing with Brother Voodoo. But just in Blitz alone, seeing what he brings to the table with his defense down, you bring in characters like Hella, and yeah, it does some incredible stuff. So we're going to talk about Brother Voodoo, kind of talk about what T4s I'm investing in him. ISO for him, this is a very important thing to talk about with ISO, because the recommended one from Marvel Strike Force is really not the best one if you're going to have a low star Voodoo, which most people will. So we're going to talk about that in today's video. So if you guys do find this video helpful, you do enjoy it, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. But also real quick, just want to show this. I thought this was hilarious. Was watching Elsa just absolutely demolish that Electro there. Yeah, like I've upgraded her basic T4. It just does so much damage with that, and that's without her bonus ISO attack as well, which can do like 100k damage on that as well. She's gonna get offense up from her ultimate. Beautiful stuff. So yeah, this is what we're gonna talk about in today's video. So let's start by talking about like Brother Voodoo. Like, what T4s am I investing in him? You can see I've got 3 T4s on him right now. In terms of which ones are the most important, the passive is okay, but is by no means required. That one is very helpful for if you have a low star, low gear Brother Voodoo or Dr. Voodoo, because when he drops 50% health, he gains 1 stack of death proof. He's going to heal himself back up with his ultimate. But yeah, that death proof is kind of nice to have. And also, if you run into a team that gives a lot of speed up, that bonus crit chance is very good. But really, the what you really want to go for here on the first T4 is going to be on his special here, because it applies ability block to the primary target. And this is huge. He's going to go pretty quickly, because this is the beauty of the Dark Hunters team / Supernatural, is that they're relatively good on speed. Like, he's got 120 speed here, but every time you're applying a negative effect to the enemy team, they're gaining speed bar because of the passive from Ghost Rider. So you get 1 character on that team that goes pretty quickly. Like, for instance, I'm going to go back here to the beginning of when I was fighting this Doc team and Blitz, and you're going to see that the Greg on my team from Hella puts heal block out, and now it just starts driving the speed bar on my team. So now Ghost Rider moves, he's going to get some bleed out. Now we're getting bonus speed bar because of that. Now we have Brother Voodoo do the ability block and defense down on Doc, and then defense down on the 2 adjacent targets. They're now called to attack Doc. That's now another 90 speed bar, 9% speed bar. That's what I'm looking for. And then Elsa just kind of finishes up with the defense down. She gets offense up on her ultimate and just wipes out Doc. So, I mean, that's probably not going to be 1-to-1 in terms of how it works in war, but you know, it's just kind of funny. Like, they may have okay speed, but Ghost Rider is at 128 speed. He's one of the fastest characters in the game, or sorry, 127. So he's one of the faster characters in the game. He gives that speed bar as they apply negative effects. It's beautiful stuff. So yeah, really, this right here, this ability block, this T4, very helpful. Like, I would say this is one of the best T4s to do right now for Dark Hunters because of that ability block. And then you also have his ultimate. This will be the next one I do, because it clears all negative effects from all Dark Hunter allies, steals a bonus 10% health, and it goes from 10% health from all enemies to 20%. So this T4 also very helpful in his ultimate. And then his passive. Now, I don't know how exactly to pronounce this passive. Someone said it's pronounced Ungen. I've been calling it Hungen. I looked it up online and someone said it's pronounced Houngen. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to call it the passive. But yeah, passive would probably be the 3rd priority for him. And then you have this basic, and yeah, this basic's nice. Like, that 3% bonus healing is good. This is probably the 4th best, I say. Well, maybe if as you star up, as you gear up Voodoo and you haven't dropped a lot of T4s, it's probably the 3rd best after the in front of the passive, because that passive is really helpful for him because we're gonna have him at 3 stars. He doesn't have a lot of health right now. If you look at his health, he's sitting at like 290k. Like, not a lot of health on him right now. So that passive right now is very, very good. But as you gear him up, you get those stars on him, you get up those gear tier levels, that health gets much, much better. He has one of the better health stats in the game too. So, you know, that passive is not going to be as good as it would be if you had a low star Dr. Voodoo. Almost said Brother Voodoo again there. That is something to consider. So if you are waiting to drop a lot of T4s on him, and wait for, like, as you're getting stars on him. He's a campaign event character, so it should be relatively easy to get 5 stars on him because of that. So, you know, he is going to be a healthy character as you gear him up, and that at that point, that passive probably falls below the basic. This basic is very good, especially if you have that healing with this. It's 8% on Dark Hunter allies and himself whenever he uses his basic. Now, his ISO attacks only do damage. It does not do the stealing death proof. It does not do healing. So you will not get any benefit from having Striker ISO on him because of this. Now, in terms of the ISO, they said originally healer was going to be great. What I have found in my testing is that right now, at low stars, you need to have Skirmisher on him. He has about the 50th best focus in the game. And if you go and look at this, yeah, right here, Dr. Voodoo. Right here, he's tied with, like, Magneto, Elsa, Ghost, Taskmaster, Baron Zemo in terms of focus. Not really impressive in the focus department. He's about 50th. It's a little bit above average. What I was finding before I put Skirmisher on him is that I just was not getting the ability block and the defense down. And you need these to land. This is very, very important. So right now at low stars, Skirmisher is going to be a much better ISO option for him. As we get him geared up and as we get stars on him, you'll see I've actually got healer ready to go on him. He gets a very sizable health pool. It's going to increase the healing on his basic. Very good stuff. You don't really need to go for, like I said already, Striker just doesn't do a lot for him. It's just damage. You don't get the stealing the health proof, or you don't get stealing death proof. You don't get the healing with his ISO attack. And Raider is useless because he's only got single target attacks. He's only got 1 attack, and that's his basic. So Raider is next to useless on him. Striker doesn't really do much. Skirmisher and ISO really seem to be, or Skirmisher and Healer really seem to be your best options for Dr. Voodoo. That's really what you want to go for. And if you want to go for Fortifier on him, by all means, go ahead. But he's going to get a lot of barrier through his ultimate too, because, sorry, not his ultimate, his special. His special gives the barrier here. You have 30% of his max health to him and Dark Hunter allies. So Fortifier barrier on him is going to be useless, really, because you're going to use his special turn 1. You're going to get that barrier on everybody. Team's going fast, so they're going to have plenty of barrier on them. Not really an issue. I would not worry about Fortifier for him either. So Skirmisher and Healer really should be your only options for Dr. Voodoo. Now, in terms of his passive and why I've been using Hela and what I'm thinking for this team, like this passive even without T4 is very, very impressive. I talked about this in my other preview of Dr. Voodoo, and why I'm taking him into DD5 is because whenever an ally dies, he gains 1 death proof up to a maximum of 5, and then offense up to self and all Dark Hunter allies. That is any ally. That does not have to be non-summoned allies. Like with T'Challa's passive, he only gets a speed bar when you defeat non-summoned enemies. So with this is a little bit better in terms of that offense up to him and Dark Hunter allies when an ally dies, and he gains that death proof. That's great. And then he gains 5% speed for each death proof on him up to a maximum of 25. Now, for fun, I decided to go and try and see what else I had out there. And this was one where I ran into a Ravager team on Blitz, and I said, you know what? Why not? Like, no one's going to have their war bonuses here. I just want to see what could happen. And this is where the speed on Ghost Rider is very important, because T'Challa has 125 speed on him, and if he gets his special off, he does that blind and the defense down with Yondu there. It's not going to be good. So this was one we decided to try just to see what we could do. No war bonuses on either team. Both teams are war teams. So, you know, we're kind of on an even footing here where it's in Blitz. No one gets their war bonuses. There we go. Get that speed down, or we get that heal block on T'Challa. And now we just, I thought about this a little bit. It's like, maybe I want to ability block Yondu, but no, definitely want to go for T'Challa here. And look at that. T'Challa is pretty much done at this point. There's no heal block, or there's heal block on him. We're going to stun Yondu. T'Challa dies. Spread everything with Hela. And there you go. Now you get that speed bar on everybody. Yeah, I really love the addition of Hela to this team, and I'm gonna be sad when I have to take her off for Morbius. But yeah, Hela, Mordo, and Brother Voodoo, like, that's a nasty trio right there. I want to see what we could possibly do with those three in the future. But yeah, Greg dies. We get offense up to my Dark Hunter allies here. So Ghost Rider, Voodoo, and Elsa all have offense up now. Elsa already got offense up from her ultimate, but you know, now she gets a little bit more. Now, I also want to mention this this ultimate from Ghost Rider slaps. If you get defense down on the enemy target, you get offense up on Ghost Rider, and then he goes into someone with his ultimate. It does absurd amounts of damage. I was looking at like a 500k hit earlier on his ultimate there, and it's kind of ridiculous. And this is where Hela kind of comes into play too, because now, because of Greg dying, you get that offense up on Ghost Rider. You get his penance there, and I don't even have the T4 on this yet. But yeah, like, piercing damage on this, and it also should be noted he has top 10 damage right now as it is. Of course, we're also bugged. Surprise, surprise. We're getting the icon for there we go. Got the icon for Dr. Voodoo and his ability. But yeah, this once I get the T4 on this, we get that defense down on someone, we get offense up on Ghost Rider, and just let him go. Like, it's gonna be nuts watching what Ghost Rider can do. But yeah, right now as it stands, I am very excited to see what Dark Hunters can do in War. Without Morbius here, we bring in Hela and Mordo for the other two spots in Dark Hunters, and we should get some pretty good results. Now, we'll see. I mean, I expect them to lock Morbius behind a blitz or some other nonsense, so we'll see what we get with Morbius. But I want to hear from you guys. Have you guys unlocked him? Have you guys tried him out yet? Is there anything you guys want me to try with Dr. Voodoo? Let me know down below. As always, if you guys have enjoyed this video or found it helpful, make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.